Humans of New Mexico is a storytelling project aimed at capturing the experiences of everyday New Mexicans. We believe that everybody's story is worthy of sharing.
There's millions of people who get up every day, do their job, do what they got to do, but they aren't seen. You know, I think everybody has an interesting story to tell.
The project really highlights the places that we don't always have access to, but moreover, they don't always have access to us. We're able to go to these different communities in New Mexico and really highlight what they're about and highlight the people that live there. It's really taught me that New Mexico can be really diverse and in the ways that you really wouldn't expect.
One of the questions we usually ask is, what are some of the challenges to your communities? That information, that knowledge that's being produced by these individuals is crucial. We believe that those issues are solved by community.
There's all kinds of hustlers here, and I don't know, I feel like if you don't have like some sort of cliques, like some sort of group to hang out with, like if you don't have time to kill here or in any of our other artistic group, it's like your life will slowly go downhill here, you know? Like this town traps you. Hip-hop could be a religion, you know, because it doesn't follow the path of like faith where you have to believe in something. It's more of like indigenous where it's like spiritual, you know, it's that spiritual connection that you have with everything. We breakdance in like a circle, and once you're in that circle with all those other dancers and everyone's like feeling the music and everyone's moving in continuum with each other, it's like you no longer have to talk to anybody. Everyone knows what everyone else is thinking, and everyone's just really interconnected with each other. A lot of our students are very poor, you know, so it's like I'm not going to tell them, no, you can't come here because you didn't pay your fees or this and that, because that's kind of silly, you know. I'd rather them be here than be off somewhere else, you know. I always just want this place to be like a place of nurture and just growth all the time.
This is continuing that oral history tradition that many of our ancestors, both in this land and in this place, but also from many of us who come from different backgrounds, can share. And so when it comes to sitting down in somebody's home with coffee and just sharing your story, it feels like you're back home with your grandma and they're telling you your stories of where you come from. And I think that there is value in that, and we need to continue that tradition and not let it die.
A lot of those traditions may be lost in 10, 15, 20 years, 100 years, we don't know.
It is important, I think, for New Mexicans to believe that there's a positive side to New Mexico, because we know it and we live it and we love it, but it's really hard to find that in mainstream media.
I think the art is the one thing that's always important. You know, it shows the development of a culture, it shows the development of the people, you know, how the people are feeling at the time. Going to those areas, learning about their processes, how they work, what they do, what inspires them to continue using New Mexico as their inspiration.
Okay, what does she need? She needs a little more pink. This painting has just taken over my life. I lived in Mexico for 15 years. I lived in Guanajuato. I just noticed this surge in popular art of this particular figure, and I began reading about her, and I became fascinated by her. And this guy asked me to paint him a Santissima. So I painted it, and I was walking across the plaza past a restaurant that had tables on the sidewalk, and these guys asked me if they could buy it, and I said no, it was sold. But I sat down, and then we had some coffee together, and we started talking, and it was during the narco wars, and everybody had PTSD, and horrible things were happening every night. And we started crying, me and these total strangers, talking about how scared we were. And that La Santissima is really on the streets, that she's there. You know, that her people need her, that she's trying to tell us something. It's her. It's La Santissima. She wants me to paint her. Art changes reality, it changes nature. Once you see something in a piece of art, it will never look the same to you again. And then there are truths that can only be said in art. They can't be said in words. So I believe that art is necessary for the mental health of the collective. We have a function, you know, we're like queers, we're born. It's not a choice. If you're an artist, you got to come out of the closet and do it. Maybe we are the quintessential queers. I think that not only economically, but spiritually and psychologically, artists have a great deal to offer New Mexico. And we have a lot of issues here in New Mexico that we haven't talked about. You know, everything's named after Kit Carson, the Entrada in Santa Fe, and the celebration of the conquest, the fact that there are different versions of history here. We can speak about those things through art. Only one more flower and it will be done.
On KUNM, you're listening to the Humans in New Mexico monthly radio show, where we share the stories of people from around the state.
We're going to be listening to the first half of our conversation with students Melissa Garcia, Cesar Guillen, and Diego Hernandez, and also teacher Kate Smith.
When I first heard the radio, it was definitely something I was proud of, because I had never been on the radio, believe it or not. The other guys in my band, man, they were really happy about it. Every time I asked them about it, I remember how it was and the experience, and they still tell me that they feel great about it. I love the feeling of playing a song and having people dance to it. I really enjoy being up on stage, you know, with my friends, having a lot of fun. A couple of things have changed, but we're still here hitting it off, trying to find a way to, you know, make it big. One of my first dreams is to buy my mom a house, her dream house, of course, like any other guy would. I'll just work in anything, you know, positive in order to achieve my dream. But first of all, I want to make my family proud and make them happy of what I do. These types of projects will of course help, you know, with the diversity of our state, country, you know, and the world. It could definitely help us be there for one another, no matter anything, no matter color, no matter anything. And like help us be together.
I think it's a really important project, and I think storytelling is the way in which we make sense out of reality, right? And we have to. The human being needs meaning. Without meaning, we go crazy, you know? So we create meaning by telling stories. And a story is kind of like a painting. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. It has boundaries, it has a frame. And you compose something, you put it inside this boundary, you make it into a whole, complete thing, and you create a narrative. So by recording the narratives and the stories and the oral histories of the real living people of northern New Mexico, they are preserving and creating for the future. Because if we lose our stories, we've lost everything. We have to start all over again. So that's why this project is so important.
Thank you all for being here. This is the opening night of the Humans in New Mexico exhibit. We're an oral history project. We go around the state and collect the stories of folks.
There's millions of people who get up every day, do their job, do what they got to do, but they don't either get credit or they aren't seen. You know, I think everybody has an interesting story to tell.
We're stronger together. We all collaborate, we can really do this, and we can survive, and we can resist.
It's more about everyday people, you know, who get up every day, do their job, or live their life how they see fit. It's not, we're not glamorizing, we're not editorializing, we're letting them tell us their story.
My favorite part about this collective is it's a little community trying to focus on a larger community. It's like a little family inside of a large family.
As long as we never lose the soul of the project, I think we're going to be good.
We wanted to change the discourse in social media, again, through storytelling and through people's perspective. And by turning the camera on to the community and to the people themselves, we see that people have embraced this project for that particular reason, that they recognize it's the people who make New Mexico a beautiful place.
New Mexico has a culture unlike any other. It's a real melding pot of different culture, Native American, Chicano, Anglo, people from other states who come here and live here. You know, they bring some of their essence here. So we all feed off of each other.
At the end of the day, storytelling is a form of healing, and storytelling has the power to transform community.